Today is the Budget and Finance Committee. Those committee members are Freeman, Amobian, Malik, Baylor, and Lombardo. We have all committee members present except for Councilman Freeman, so Councilwoman Amobian will be chairing today. Whenever you're ready, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much. You've already identified that all persons are present except Mr. Freeman. May I have a motion to accept the minutes from the last meeting?
So moved.
So moved. Second.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. We have one old piece. And Madam Clerk, Madam Clerk, will you read that in, please?
Yes, we do have a substitute offered as an amendment. It's an ordinance amending ordinance number 75, 2023, passed March 27th, 2023, which established the annual appropriation for the current expenses, other expenditures, and the capital outlays of the City of Akron for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2023, and declaring an emergency.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. So this is the final appropriation amendment that we submitted last week. We actually did offer a substitute because we had a couple changes that we made. Those included we added some budget for some grants that the fire department got, as well as the police property fund had a payout that we had to cover. And then we added some transfer monies out of the general fund operating for the service department. But other than that, all of the numbers are the same as last week.
Thank you, Mr. Fricker. Are there any questions of the committee members? I don't see any hands. Do you, Ms. Sierra?
No, there are no hands raised here in chambers.
Okay. Are there any hands of any other council members?
I don't see any, Madam Chair.
Okay, seeing none and hearing that we have none, I believe you want this passed today. Is that correct, Mr.?
Yes, we would.
So is there a motion to accept the legislation with suspension of the rules?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Okay. Do we need to go back to the old piece, Ms. Viviana?
Yes.
The old piece from the previous agenda. Can you read that in? I don't have that in.
Sure. Item number 2 is a resolution urging the City of Akron to reallocate COVID-19 funds from restaurants to Forever Our Children's shower bus and declaring an emergency.
Okay. Now, beyond the discussion we had last week, are there any other recommendations?
Madam Chair, Councilman Malik has his hand raised.
Mr. Malik?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I know we've been discussing this for several weeks, and I think that there is a lot of consensus around around the fact that we do need to support the shower bus. I think the question before us is how, and that we don't have a clear line item since there is the desire to use the remaining COVID money that City Council has allocated to itself for the security camera project. With that being said, my suggestion would be that we continue to take time on this item until we go into the capital budget process to kind of hold ourselves accountable a little bit, knowing that this is an outstanding issue that we are all committed to, and then finding a solution through the capital budget. So my suggestion would be for time.
I would second that.
Okay. Just one question, Mrs. Viviana. I've kind of heard in the past, and I don't know if this is true, anything that ends at the end of the year that's not decided upon is null and void, or can we carry something over from one year to the next, or one administration to the next?
So council rules state that anything on a committee's agenda at the end of a term would be filed.
Okay. But we can revitalize this when our new session starts, right?
Correct. A new council could bring it back. Madam Chair, Councilman Malik has his hand raised.
Sure, Mr. Mallett.
Sure, I guess I appreciate the clarification from our clerk, and I would suggest that we take time and that, I don't think that any of us oppose the idea of funding this. And I think that it would be appropriate to bring in a resolution, in the new year, in support of this through a different funding source or ultimately through the capital budget process. So my recommendation would still be for time.
Second.
So it's been moved and seconded. Can we do that? It sounds like we have to file it and then bring it back next year. Is that what you're telling us, Ms. Clark, Madam Clerk?
Yes.
Yes, according to council rules.
Okay. So should we do a motion to file with understanding that there's support and that it will be brought back to council in a new resolution? We'll resurrect it through a new resolution.
That's certainly up to the committee. If you want to continue time this afternoon and file it at this evening's meeting, you could certainly do that.
Okay.
But
So
yes, another council person could certainly bring it in next year for the committee
Okay.
to consider.
Madam Chair, I would make a motion to file the resolution.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to file it. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Oppose? Okay. We will file it with the understanding that we'll bring it back next year. Is there anything else to come before us?
That is all that's on the agenda today.
And there are no hands anywhere to further discuss this, right?
Not that I can see. Nope, no hands raised here in chambers or online.
Thank you very much. We are adjourned.
That is the only committee meeting today. Council will meet at 5 p.m. Thank you.